home of your match day experience. We've got Gene in the building, Hood and Junior. You probably remember Junior from that Newcastle video. Going down to watch the Community Shield, the sort of hyped up, glorified, friendly, what do you call it, Gene? What would you call it?
Well, Man United fans call it a trophy nowadays, so for those guys it's only a friendly though.
Okay, it's a big game because it's probably, in normal circumstances, you probably think it's a friendly. It's especially this season because a week has been gone off the schedule because of the World Cup. So we normally get about 4 weeks into the pre-season, don't we? But this year we've got three weeks. So for the fact that matter, we squeezed another friendly in after the Fulham game as well. But because it's City, do you think it's a bit more than a friendly?
Always. Against City, it's always more than a friendly, man. If you look at even previously when we played against them in the Charity Shield, that was a game of two halves where they were brilliant in the first half, we were brilliant in the second half. And that was a game that was no love lost between the two sides. There's never any love lost between the two managers as well. So, yeah, exactly. It's more than a friendly, it always is.
I've not really been following them in terms of how they've been going in pre-season. But I think our pre-season is a bit more intense compared to Pep. Pep likes to, I don't know how many matches they've played this season in before the season kicks off. But I think they're more of a team where they probably spend a bit more time than us compared to us on the training field. Pep likes to sort of rally his troops on the training pitch rather than go really big and intense before the season kicks off. How do you think today's going to go then? Do you think it'll be more of a tactical affair like it is always between our two of the biggest teams in the country, or do you see it as a friendly where we'll probably start strong? Both teams might start strong, but going into the 50th and 60th minute, the sort of both sides will start bringing the changes.
Yeah, look, I think obviously with the if you look at the pre-season friendlies that we've played, we have made quite a lot of changes coming into the second half. So you can expect the same sort of intensity and the same sort of playing in regards to the both sides. I'm not too fussed. I think both teams will give it everything they've got, more so in the first half. I think both teams will play their best sort of 11, let's say, especially in the first half, and then bring in the changes in the second half.
Okay, just a bit of insight into the tactics before I go to Hood and Junior. How do you see us lining up? There's been a lot of talk about this 4-2-3-1 formation, fitting in the sort of the 8/10s in Harvey Elliott and Fabio Carvalho, who've had a prominent role in pre-season. Do you see them having a prominent role after the pre-season? And do you see that 4-2-3 formation coming into fruition?
I don't think we'll see that formation today, Asim. I think it'll be more of a 4-3-3. I think this team that started against, this team that came on in the second half against Salzburg, I can see that team being our first 11. So it'll be a 4-3-3. I think a tried and tested approach from Liverpool anyway. Maybe in the second half, if we do need to ring in some changes, maybe a Carvalho will come on to give us a slight change in tactics depending on the result at the time.
Yeah.
But I think we'll go with Endo, Thiago, and Fabinho in the three. I think Firmino will get the nod ahead of Nunez to start off with, and our back four will be our back four.
Yeah, definitely. We want to see the big man bagging, maybe not 4 goals, but a couple of goals will do. Junior, how do you see us lining up then? Let's go through the team quickly. Obviously, Alisson is out and Adrian will start because of injury.
Is it Adrian or Adrian?
Adrian. Sorry guys, my pronunciation. Adrian is in goal. You obviously expect Trent to start and Robbo. Who's going to partner Van Dijk? Who would you like to see? Is it Matip? Gomez? Matip? So no Konate then, no?
I think Konate's going to start personally.
I think
Matip, yeah?
I think I'll go for safe Matip.
Yeah. I think, I won't mind. Personally, I won't mind. I think they're good as each other. They bring different things in terms of their attributes. Matip brings that the way we play, the way he brings the ball out. Is very, very an integral part to our build-up.
Not afraid to score a goal as well.
And those runs down the fields. I'm going to get one on camera today. When he makes his journey.
But he scored against them in the Charity Shield last time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But Konate gives us that sort of recovery pace as well, doesn't he?
Is Haaland starting or not?
Haaland, he scored a goal about a week and a half ago, didn't he? And
I think if Haaland starts, I think I prefer to see Konate start to deal with his physical presence.
yeah, fair point. Fair point. Okay, let's go through the midfield because this is slightly where we might have a few different opinions. Let's say we're going to play a 4-3-3. Fabinho starts in the 6, guys. Would you all agree? Who's going to start either side of Fab? Let's say Hood. Who's your 3?
I'd say Fabinho, Thiago, and Elliot on the right.
Fabinho, Thiago, and Elliot.
Yeah.
Gene, would you agree
Look,
with that?
ideally, I'd want them 3 to start. If I'm honest, I think Elliot's had a fantastic pre-season. He's something wrong with the camera, mate.
Fucking amateurs.
Yeah, so I was saying, look, ideally I'd prefer Elliot to start, especially in the 3. But I think he's going to go hand over this in this game. So yeah, I can understand why you guys will want Elliot to start. But I think the team that started, like I mentioned earlier, the team that started in the midfield that started against Salzburg in the second half, I think they'll go with them 3.
Yeah, I agree. As Gene starts, I think we need to invest into a proper
No, you do.
phone holder, don't we? But I think Elliot obviously brings a lot more to our game. He brings a bit more football, a bit more technical ability to our game, and the way he sort of plays in that half space, he gives a bit more. And I think if Nunez plays, I would like to see someone like Elliot play on the right, because I think we need to get close to the big man.
100%.
And he can play on the shoulder. And I think in that Strasbourg, the game that you mentioned with Strasbourg, it felt like for half an hour, everyone was trying to feed Nunez for half an hour playing on the shoulder. But I think that's very, very important. If we do transition into a 4-3-1, a 4-4-2, I think the sort of onus is to get players close to big man, rather than completely different, animal in Bobby. Bobby comes and makes play, so we don't need a Harvey Elliott making play in that half space with Salah and Trent. So I think it gives us options. It gives us not being predictable, and it gives us different options as well. So as long as it gives us a different dynamic, I think it'll give us we'll reap the rewards throughout the season. Up front, then, guys, there's been a lot of talk. Bobby starting, Nunez is going to come into the season. Do you see it that way, or could we be in for a surprise where Nunez starts today?
I think we go tried and tested. I think we go Salah, Bobby, Diaz. I think Nunez will definitely come on. I don't think he'll start.
So you play it safe.
Salah, Bobby, Diaz.
Yeah, I think we agree. We'll just ease Nunez in. Because look, a lot of people say he's a big signing, he should come in, hit the ground running straight away like Diaz did in January. But I think we have to provide a bit more perspective. Diaz is that sort of dynamic sort of player who came in and just fitted in like a glove. But Nunez, we have to give him time. He will bag goals, no doubt about that, because he spends most of his time in the box, even though he does have the ability to be slightly flexible like he showed at Benfica. But when it comes to Nunez, we have to give him time. Because why? Because he has to adapt to the way we play, and we have to adapt to the way he plays as well.
So that's what I was going to say. So we know in regards to Nunez, look, when Diaz came in, there wasn't really adjustment in any of the side. He was going to play exactly the way Mane played. He was going to come in, fit that system, fit the way we play. There was no actual change in the way we're going to play. But with Nunez, we're completely changing the way we play. And I agree, it's a complete. We'll become. There's so much unpredictability amongst us now that, to be fair, even amongst our own fans, we don't really know how it's gonna go. So even that, you mentioned with Nunez, and you mentioned the importance of the 8 now.
Yeah.
So it's even imperative that whoever our 8 is, if Nunez starts, there's gonna be, because he's gonna, let's say, because he's an actual 9, he's gonna occupy the defenders. So there is gonna be that space in them half spaces where the number 8, like Harvey or Carvalho, is. It's imperative for them to take that role up where they're getting closer to the number 9. And plus, like you said in the Strasbourg game, we look for Nunez at every opportunity. A proper number 9, you'll see you'll see the Trent balls going into the box, the Robbo balls going into the box. It gives us a completely different threat. Yeah. And as Liverpool fans, we can't expect Nunez to do what Firmino does. It's a completely different way of playing now. Yeah. So it's important that we definitely show some patience towards him. But I, for one, I genuinely believe that he will definitely hit the ground running. He's got the quality, but we have to show patience. Especially if we're changing the way we play going forward.
Oh, no. Okay, before we wrap up, boys, let's get your predictions in. Junior, I'll start with you. Wow, it's goal scoring affair then, yeah.
It always is
It's
against
always
Liverpool.
goals in this game. Always.
Yeah, especially if we see some changes
Yeah.
from the 60th minute and the quality sort of dips, understandably. So, Hood, what's your
I was
prediction?
going to say the same thing.
3-2 to us.
Liverpool, yeah.
Gene,
2-1 Liverpool.
I was going to go 2-1, but since you said 2-1, I'll go for 3-1 Liverpool.
Goal scorers.
Goal scorers, I think Salah will get a couple. And I fancy Nunez coming on and getting one.
That'd be the perfect day for us boys.
That'd be-
Nunez and Salah get the goals. I'll be happy with that.
It will. But yeah, thank you very much, guys. So stay tuned. It's our first video today. Stay tuned for we're going to be releasing some details in terms of what sort of shows we're going to be doing on a weekly basis. We've got big collaborations with some big accounts, with some big personalities coming soon. So please, keep your eyes peeled for that. And yeah, like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. We'll be plastering our faces all over social media. And yeah, it's just a way of engaging with fellow Reds. So stay tuned and come on, you Reds!
Go on, you Reds!